Test, test, test. All right. We're good?
Test, test, test.
Are we?
Yep.
Okay. Welcome, everybody, to the Common Council meeting for the City of Delafield, January 19th, 2026, coming to order at 7 p.m. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Molly, roll call, please. I'm trying to go backwards instead of forwards.
Alderperson Henry.
Here.
Alderperson Schaefer.
Here.
Alderperson Valdy.
Here.
Alderperson Wilkin.
Here.
Alderperson Pevin.
Here.
Alderperson Price.
Here.
Alderperson Laughlin.
Here.
Thank you. And item number 4, we have a special order of business. We have a ceremonial swearing in of Police Officer Daniel Truster. I'll defer to our Police Chief, Landon Nyron, and Molly.
Can you move over this way just a little bit?
This way?
A little bit this way. Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
We'd like to get the city of Delafield in back on over there. All right.
I,
Daniel Truster,
Daniel Truster,
having been appointed a city of Delafield police officer,
having been appointed a City of Delafield police officer,
hereby swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
hereby swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and impartially discharge
and will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties of said office to the best of my ability.
the duties of said office to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to the city.
Thank you. Okay.
Just a quick, Mary and everybody else.
Grab
introduction.
a mic, please. Thank you.
A quick introduction to Officer Truster here. He comes to us, first got his start with the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department several years ago, and then spent 7 years with the Wauwatosa Police Department before joining us over here in Delafield. So we're really looking forward to taking advantage of that wealth of experience. He'll be with his field training officer, Lucas Wolf, who will be pinning him today. They will be spending the next 4 weeks together, probably learning from each other. And he'll be learning the streets of Delafield, and hopefully you'll be seeing him out there until he goes to third shift in April. So, welcome.
Oh, you got me.
There you go.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you. Thank you. Awesome.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good deal.
Go around, do the round. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, and some of us are up at night, Chief. We'll see him around. All right. Great. So we're at full strength?
Awesome.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so next order of business is approval of the minutes. So we've got 2 sets of minutes from, looking for approval for minutes from December 1st, 2025 regular meeting.
I move to approve the minutes of our December 1st, 2025 meeting.
A second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Abstentions? All right, minutes from December 1st are approved. How about December 15th?
Move to approve of the minutes of our December 15th regular meeting.
Second.
Any questions, comments? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Or abstentions? All right, minutes from December 15th are approved. Item 6, City of Delafield citizens' comments. Anyone here of this vast audience wish to comment? Okay, Mary does not. So we'll move on. City of Delafield citizens' comments are now closed. There is no items on the consent agenda, so right on to boards, committees, and commission reports. This is a typically light after-holiday agenda, so if I seem like I'm going fast, it's because of lack of business. So licenses, Molly?
No report.
No report. Plan Commission, Alderperson Wilkin.
No meeting, no report.
Okay, Lake Welfare Committee, Alderman Price.
We did meet. We had discussions on several areas. We spent most of our time discussing the article that was in our city newspaper about the aerators. The thought on the committee was the fact that the people who are on the lake and have seen a number of aerators, nobody is using the warning devices or signs or orange cones or nothing. So I think at the next meeting, next month, probably it'll be next month, we're going to come back with an ordinance just to limit the use of it between November and April. Just don't turn them on, because they just cause too much issues, and it's just much too dangerous, and not one person on the committee could think one reason why you would ever want to actually have it on. So, but we also did some searching with some other cities, and Tom Conomowoc has a beautiful ordinance. We could just, if we like it, we could just take it as is. So that's all I have.
All right, and I know Fire Chief Grimmer, Fennig, put a lot, the mats, I got the mat. So Chief Fennig had a lot to do with the article that was posted.
Yep.
And he's a lake person. He's a good reference point. So
Oh, yeah.
certainly, definitely include him in how this goes forward.
Yep.
So. All right, thanks. D, Park and Rec Commission.
No meeting, no report. Our next meeting is a week from tonight.
All right, Public Works Committee.
No meeting, no report.
Now we're moving. Delhart Commission, that's me. Our next meeting is tomorrow, so we haven't had a meeting other than delicious food at our Christmas party. So Police Commission,
No meeting, no report.
okay, Library Board.
We did have a meeting, and there's some great notes on the director's report, but the thing I wanted to mention is that the painting of the library we have a tentative schedule for that starting mid-April, and the library will be completely closed. We are going to close down the library for up to 3 weeks to just get it knocked out instead of trying to work around. We were trying to do that so that we didn't have, the library didn't have to close completely, but it just does not seem practical to do that. So there will be more information coming soon with the exact dates of when it will be closing down, but just watch for that because it will matter turning in materials and things like that. It will affect checkout things and that. So it will be mid-April as of right now. That's the tentative date, and for planning on 3 weeks. If it gets done sooner, it'll open back up.
I'm guessing it might need it. Was the last time it was painted when it was built in 2009 or 10?
Yes. Yeah, it really needs it.
right.
So they're gonna do some repairs and do almost the whole interior.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. We'll see if everyone else does, but so make sure we keep it in the news. We'll keep reporting on it, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. And so then we've got the documents for the library director's report that are in the packet. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Zoning Board of Appeals, I don't think there was any.
No meeting, no report.
Promotional and Tourism Commission.
No meeting, no report. Next meeting is February 10th.
And that decorations are great downtown, and Delafield and all these things that aren't necessarily all promotional and tourism came off great. All right. Lake Country Fire and Rescue Commission. I do not believe there was a meeting. Lake Country Fire and Rescue Board. I don't believe there was a meeting with the board either. Do you know, Tom? I don't think there was. But there's more on that later. Deer Management Committee.
No meeting, no report. Next meeting's tomorrow night.
Okay. And season is still open for people who want to help us out, right? All right. Unfinished business or other committees and reports, commissions, there is none. Unfinished business, we don't have any. Mayor's report, I've got a few items here. One, and it's not that he's going anywhere, but Dirk has been working both the Public Works Plan Commission and Council for the last several months, and I did that once myself, and I think that's a lot of times to see the same developer in a row. And so he's kind enough to offer up a seat. So he's putting in his resignation for that particular role. So I'm looking to a motion to accept the resignation for Alderperson Wilkin from the Public Works Commission, term to expire 4/26.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, thanks. Any comments or questions? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay, or abstentions? Okay, motion passes. Thanks, Dirk. Then 10B, confirm appointment of George Pavin, Alderperson Pavin, to accept the alderperson position on the Public Works Committee vacated by Dirk Wilkin to expire in April.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Thanks. Go ahead.
About time I carry my weight.
Oh, I'm sorry. You gotta put your mic on.
As it's about time I carry my weight a little bit on this council here, so I decided to, I did check with Dirk first, and we agreed that it was,
All right, good,
it was
thanks.
a good move for me, so, thank you.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay, or abstentions? Okay, thanks, George. And then item 10C, looking for confirmation of appointment for Stephen Michaels to the citizens member position on the Lake Country Fire and Rescue Board vacated by Matt Grimmer, term to expire 4/26. And with a motion, I'll give you some background on Steve.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so I got to know
Who had a second?
Dirk,
No,
Dirk.
oh,
Schaefer.
Schaefer.
Okay.
So
A lot of people at once.
I got to know Stephen when this fun stuff with LCFR started, and he lived and was a longtime resident of town of Delafield, and he was on their board, and he and I met a couple times over our negotiations, and we found each other to be very, very reasonable in seeing each other's point of view, however, defending our own point of view and our own position where we were. So I think he brings a nice level head to the team on the LCFR board, and I'm looking forward to his participation. So that's where he comes from, and he's moved into Delafield about 2 years ago. I told him when I saw him the first time, I'm like, I'm gonna hit you up. So, but he's a good guy. So that's my endorsement of Stephen Michaels for this position. And it's vacant, so. So any other comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Or abstentions? Okay, welcome, Steve. Thank you for stepping up. On to item 11, new business, discussion and possible action regarding ordinance number 845 to repeal ordinance number 824, which created a municipal court and recreate a municipal court with the addition of Village of Palmyra as a contract member. I'll defer to Tom on this one.
Yeah, this item and the next one, all it has to do with is that the Village of Palmyra was approved by the Court Administrative Committee as the newest member of the court. They'll be a contract member, and every time a new member gets added to the court, each community in the court has to approve this ordinance, which effectively repeals the old ordinance and establishes a new ordinance with the new member added.
Okay, with that, any questions on the ordinance or motion to approve it?
I move to approve ordinance 845.
Second.
Okay, and with that, I mean, I'll comment that we maintained, Delafield maintained our own court for a very, very long time because we had a very intimate relationship with a judge who dedicated a whole ton of time in doing the right thing for people, especially like first offenders and other things, and just something to keep in mind and put on notice for the council and these, as we go forward with Lake Country. This is just my recommendation to keep your ear to the ground as far as how people are being treated, and that we're maintaining that same type of consideration for our own people and not getting part of some big conglomerate, which there's tons of savings in this, tons of efficiencies, and it's going great so far. Just my comments on history, right? So, any other comments? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay, or abstentions? All right, motion passes for ordinance 845. So 11B, Discussion possible action regarding a revised successor agreement for the operation of Lake Country Municipal Court, AKA Municipal Court for Western Waukesha County, to add Village of Palmyra as a contract member of the court. And Tom just commented on that. If you need more information, please ask.
Just real quickly, the successor agreement lays out the operating rules essentially of how the court is going to be operated. So nothing changes with the agreement except simply adding the Village of Palmyra as a member of the court.
Any questions? Did we get a motion? Looking for a motion to approve.
I move that we approve the Lake Country Municipal Court successor agreement.
Second?
Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay, or abstentions? All right. Motion passes. 11C, Police Department Quarterly Update on Traffic Enforcement Efforts. I'll invite Chief Nyron up to comment, please. And present, I should say.
All right, good evening, everybody. Here to give you what will hopefully be a quarterly update on just our traffic enforcement. We're also hoping in March to present you with a full annual report on the police department. But traffic is a point of concern for all areas of the city. And so in discussions with Administrator Hafner and some other members of the council, we decided to put together this quarterly report on our specific traffic enforcement. So I did send out the letter and the stats. For those who like statistics, they're there. For those who like even more detailed statistics, they are available to drill down in if you so wish. We can make those available. But this is kind of the somewhat high-level overview of where we're expending our resources and where we're seeing enforcement actions in the city of Delafield. Some of the key points I want to touch that were covered in the letter, mainly our priorities, and our top priority is always going to be places with a documented history of crashes. And then after that, we focus on the locations that have been identified by our community as needing enforcement. So when you look at where we're at, it should come to no surprise that the majority of our traffic stops are in the 83 Valley. That is also where the majority of our crashes are. And so we do see a high number of enforcement there that's alongside that significant crash data. Also want to point out that in 2025, despite being down 2 to 3 officers for the entirety of the year, our officers still prioritize traffic, with enforcement actions being just under 22% of all their activity for the year. And then when you factor in the crashes that they had to write and respond to, that jumps up to almost 25% of all their activity is traffic related. So the officers are out there, they are doing their best to enforce the traffic. That being said, when we looked at our numbers, we do see an area for improvement to increase traffic enforcement. And so we have directed the officers to make sure that they're continuing to focus on that traffic whenever they have the free time. Now, hopefully coming in April, we will have our 2 new officers on the road. They will be able to be out there taking traffic, whereas right now they're partnered with someone in a car. And they're just getting, on their feet and out there and enforcing. So knock on wood, no upcoming injuries or other unforeseen circumstances, but we are continuing to push forward with those enforcement efforts. When we drill down to one of the more specific requests, Milwaukee Street always comes up in the traffic enforcement. We have been focusing on that, and I think the numbers show that pretty clearly. We do want to point out, however, that when compared to other locations, Milwaukee Street enforcement numbers aren't yielding the same amount of stops as other locations. And so specifically over the last year, We performed 157 documented stationary radar enforcements in the Milwaukee Street area, and of that, there were only 113 traffic stops. And so when you compare that to a street like Genesee Street, where there were 97 dedicated traffic patrols with 263 traffic stops, I can't blame my officers for kind of gravitating towards where the enforcement is actually being, noted. This isn't to say that they're just going to abandon Milwaukee Street, far from it. It just means that it is likely going to continue to be an area of focus along with other locations. However, our resources, when they are pressed, will likely be more evenly dispersed. But through the summer, we're going to continue those enforcements because we know that that lakefront area can be dangerous with the pedestrian crossings. And regardless of the traffic stops that have been done in the past, we're going to keep focusing on that area. Just did want to point out that we're there, we're looking, and we're doing our best to kind of quell the speeding there, at least with enforcement actions on Milwaukee Street. That is pretty much my summary. Wanted to keep it simple and short today because in March I'll have a whole annual report for you to listen to. But I am open for questions. Like I said, we have the statistics. I spent a lot of time in Excel creating a system that can make this a lot easier going forward, so we can just plug in the numbers and it should hopefully spit out what I'm looking for and what I can provide to you. And as for the crash data, that's all straight from the state of Wisconsin. Anyone can get access to what's called community maps through the state of Wisconsin. And that can give you the crash dashboard information. It can give you those heat maps of predictive analysis for crashes and other information, all based on what you're specifically looking for. But I did want to emphasize, as you may have seen, last year, we had a significant increase over our average last 5 years in crashes. And that was pretty much, other than fatalities across the board, an increase. And it is important to note that these are city of Delafield crashes, not interstate crashes. So these are crashes that we are handling in the city of Delafield. And so crashes on the interstate aren't skewing these numbers. These are crashes that our officers are having to respond to. So that number is growing. We anticipate that number to not slow down with the developments both here in the city and in our neighbors. There's more and more subdivisions popping around. The 83 Valley, that is they're going to be coming to Delafield to shop. And unfortunately, it means they're going to be coming to Delafield to get into crashes. So we'll be out there, we'll be enforcing that and doing our best. But any questions or guidance, we are open to it. And we just want to make sure that, we're doing what the community wants.
Do you think any of the 2025 numbers might be off due to the construction that was going on?
There, you'll definitely see the enforcement on 83 was probably a lot higher than it would normally be in the north end. That being said, it's historically 83 has always been a high enforcement area, and the side streets around, such as Heritage, Hillside, and those areas, it's where violations occur regularly. It's where we have most stoplights. But we definitely had an increase on 83, and we also had a significant increase here on Genesee Street, not only with the detour traffic, not taking the 67 detour and deciding to drive through downtown Delafield, but then entering our new 25-mile-per-hour zone on the north end of the city, which, if anybody was concerned, our officers were very focused on education and still had people that would have been getting tickets if it was a 35 zone. And so that enforcement was very much needed, and that's why you'll probably see that significant Genesee Street increases, because we got the community feedback about how bad Genesee Street was getting during the construction, and we focused on that.
I don't know if this, I think you're part of the traffic board or commission, and one of the two things, one are traffic lights on Genesee with the increase in the subdivisions being built. I'm just curious if that is a discussion and what it would take. Part of what I observe anecdotally is, well, it's sort of a joke, like speed limits are helpful suggestions rather than actual laws. My second question, I don't expect you to know the answers, but something to discuss is when traffic or speeding is enforced, often it's beyond like 9 over. So if it's 25, it's at 35. And the concern along Milwaukee Street and a lot of constituents, not all of whom are mine, but nonetheless, it's a concern, especially on that south end of Nagaweka, is the survivability. Like someone could hit a child driving 33 miles an hour. That's not technically speeding, but the survivability of being hit at that speed is reduced dramatically had, you know, they've been driving actually 25. So I don't know what the answer is to that, but I just wanted to toss that one into your much more professional court.
Absolutely. I've got a little bit for your first issue, the stoplights. I will most likely always defer to the engineers on that, but my basic observations is 3 stoplights that close to each other leads to the issues we have in the 83 Valley, which is light confusion. And so not only are you getting backups into the other intersections, but you also have individuals who are looking at lights that are beyond the light they're approaching. And that causes a significant amount of crashes. I don't know if anybody saw a couple of years ago, the state DOT released that the Highway 83 interchange was the second most dangerous interchange in southeast Wisconsin based on injury crashes. Second only to the Capitol Drive interchange by 45.
45,
Yeah, the one with the, like, it seems like there's like 7 layers of ramps there. That's the only intersection that was more dangerous in southeast Wisconsin. So, the key factor they determined was light confusion. So that's just my take on the lights downtown. And as for the, what we call like the discretionary speeds for enforcement, it's something that we have to employ, and we try to do so as fair as possible and take into account as much information as we can. We have specifically directed officers, especially during the summertime and high pedestrian times, to focus and possibly reduce that discretionary limit, at least for stops and warnings, maybe not citations, in those heavy pedestrian areas.
Yeah, I'll add to Jackie's comments that you mentioned, you probably would want to take the words back where you said you don't want to like ignore or like go away from Milwaukee Street. Please don't. I mean, and I don't want to, talk down to our own residents, but children behave when mom and dad are at home, and they know when they see the presence there on Milwaukee Street, it helps. It helps. And I always feel like, when I'm driving in my own city, and I take this other places now too, knowing how, whatever, behave the same way in someone else's backyard as you do in your own. But I like being that roadblock driving down Milwaukee Street when I come home from work and driving 26 miles an hour. So I'm one over. But people are up on my back, and I'll go back to what my daughter told me when I was telling her about the fact that people are trying to speed through our town, and she said, and I keep using it, I did it in my newsletter again, and that Delafield's a destination and not a drive-through, so slow down, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
there's no reason to try to save time cutting through our downtown, so find a different spot if you're not from here. And if you're from here, figure out how, look at the shops and see what the sales are as you're driving, take the extra minute. So anyways, I like that. But the other question is, for citizens out there that are watching, or for the older people that are here when they get the calls, what's the best way for someone to say that they're, and a lot of it's perception, but to report an area of high concern that they want some special attention to? Is it to go right I mean, they're not gonna call, they shouldn't call 911 when they say a bunch of people are speeding through my neighborhood on a regular basis, but should they contact their alderperson, city hall, or is there a number at the police department that they should call, or?
If they want to speak to someone on the phone, they can call our administrative line, which is our 646-6240.
Okay, and that's right on our website, okay.
Yep, standard business line.
Non-emergency line?
That is just our administrative line.
Okay.
And so we have a non-emergency dispatch if you need an officer to come, but it's not quite an emergency.
Okay.
This is where if you have an issue and you just want to talk about it with.
Or alderperson or city hall?
Alderperson is great, or you can email the police department, police@delafieldpolice.gov, and it will get to me, and then we'll filter it out as needed, and we always respond to those.
Okay. Thanks, Chief. Any other questions for Chief?
No, just thanks for sharing. This is a
Yeah.
great report. We all get worked up when we see a bad driver. We want every street in the city to be safe, so yeah.
Yep. So do we.
Let the data be the driver.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, item 11D, discussion possible action regarding the adequacy of the city's current liability insurance policy and limit consideration of increasing it. Mr. Hafner.
Yeah, our liability insurance advisor has recently indicated to us that our $5 million policy limit is starting to be kind of on the low end for comparable municipalities and for ranges of judgments that they've been seeing, and he is recommending that we increase that limit to $6 million. It's a relatively small impact on our budget. Currently, for our $5 million coverage, we're paying just short of $75,000 per year. And to add $1 million of coverage onto that only increases that premium by about $1,600. So it's relatively small increase for each $1 million of coverage that you kind of go above and beyond that $5 million. And so with that, it would be staff's recommendation that the council approve going to a $6 million policy limit.
Hey, Tom. Tom, did you know, being an ex-manager, used to do these things all the time. Does that $5 million, what is it covering over? Just our general liability and auto, or does it include errors and omissions?
Errors and
directors
omissions.
officers?
This is the coverage that kicked in with the Castle Senior Living settlement agreement. There's some medical coverage under it. Let me see, I can pull it up real quick. So bodily injury and property damage liability, personal and advertising injury and law enforcement liability, public officials' errors and omissions,
Okay.
employee benefits liability, and automobile liability.
Okay. Did you know what the limits are for directors and officers coverage? Just as long as we're talking about limits?
So off the top of my head, that's sounding like it would fall under public officials' errors and omissions? Are you thinking something different?
Well, on the errors and omissions, it might include that. Normally, directors and officers who's sitting on a board, it's a separate policy and a separate suit type of situation. Public officials' liability probably picks up a lot of those things, but
So I'm
Not
not seeing
everything.
anything separate listed based on what you're specifically identifying, but I can certainly
yeah.
follow up with a question
I'd be
on that.
concerned about, if this board gets sued, which policy responds for our protection?
So that would be public officials' errors and omissions. Like I said, with the Castle Senior Living case, that was actually, considered error and omission of the Plan Commission and the council
Okay.
in that decision.
Okay. And I'd like to make a recommendation that we increase our umbrella from 5 million to 6 million.
Second.
Any more questions or comments? And if there are any, bring them up. We can make this action today, and if we think that there's something we need to enhance in our policy, Rick's available for a meeting, and I'm sure he'd be happy to talk to us, so.
A 20% increase in coverage for a 2% increase in premium seems like a real good value.
All right, thanks for putting the math to it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Or abstentions? Okay, motion passes. All right. 11E, approval of vouchers payable for December 17th through January 31st, and from November 1st through January 20th in the amount of $862,497.28.
I move to approve the voucher lists.
And also I'll amend that to say we're also including payroll in that too, which is another number. Okay. Still approved?
Second.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Or abstentions? All right, motion passes. We're paying our bills. Report of city officials. Tom?
Just one thing I wanted to mention tonight is we've concluded our process for finding Paul Zellner's replacement as one of our 2 Public Works foremen. And we have promoted Aaron Cook to the position of Public Works foreman. Aaron brings a lot of enthusiasm in addition to his knowledge and experience to the position, a lot of leadership characteristics. And so his first day on the new job was today. And also, we will bring him to the next council meeting so he can introduce himself, and you guys have an opportunity to put a face to the name.
All right, thanks, Tom. And I'll add one footnote under his report because I left it off of mine. So one is that I know Tom met with the other administrators on Lake Country Fire and Rescue efforts in January. And there's a municipal leaders meeting where it's just, we're keeping all the extraneous, everything out of it. We're just going to all meet, all the municipal leaders from Lake Country Fire and Rescue on February 11th. And just agree to the terms we were 99.9% done with in October to memorialize the agreement that's already in place and move it forward. So that's what the meeting is on February 11th. So with that, Molly, City Clerk, any report?
Yeah, we do have a report. Caitlin Katerbski has accepted a position elsewhere, so we are seeking an administrative and billing clerk. So if anybody knows, the application is up, send them to apply.
Okay, City Treasurer's report is in the packet. Any requests for future agenda items?
Yes, I have one. Suggestion for maybe some brainstorming and some fundraising for raising money for any potential future expenses we might have on the new lake pier. I got a couple ideas that might help run that, so just.
Okay, interesting. Anything else? I thought you were going to say the 250th anniversary of our country, like what expenses we're going to incur. So I don't know that that's on our agenda, so that's actually something we need to talk about, and I'll see what we can do at our next meeting. But
Okay.
thanks, Paul. Anything else? Okay, with that, look in the packet for correspondence and seeing no other business. The meeting is now adjourned at 7:38. Thank you.